Greetings, beloved family. Are you excited? We are, for we see exactly what you have been hearing about and what lies beyond all of it from what we call our perspective, or our now moment. It's all laid out for us so that we can see, and we welcome you to join us in seeing from the same perspective. A part of each and every one of you already does that when you are in your sleep time or your meditation time. It is possible, and indeed likely, that you are aware on some level that you are sharing this perspective from the higher realms. It is that you can bring yourselves into conscious awareness of this easier and easier. That is something that these incoming energies are enabling in each and every one who is currently walking in a human body. And, yes, we know that it is difficult at times, when you are weary and when you have challenges in front of you. And they are very real in 3D. And we shall not diminish or demean in any sense shall we say, the difficulties that you are feeling with all of this. You never said it was going to be easy when you volunteered. This business of holding the light and bringing in more light, and allowing yourselves to become the light, has not been done before on planet Earth. You came into human bodies. You all knew who you were at the very beginning. You all knew that you were divine beings created from love light, out of love light and of love light. But in the everyday 3D world, most of you forgot somewhere along the way. There is no shame, guilt, or diminishment of your worthiness in what I am saying. It is just simply fact. You have things to do. You have the last of your lessons to learn. You have the last of your experiences to live that you really wanted, to either live for the first time, or perhaps it was a do-over situation. Oh, I didn't do so well in this particular holographic, illusionary 3D program the last time I lived it, so I'm going to come back and do a better job of it this time. Of course, all of this is in your mind, not in anyone else's, because there is no judgment in the higher realms. It's simply that you have looked at where you have been and made your choices according to what it was that you felt you needed still to take on as your life's experiences and, yes, challenges. Now, we are so close to all of that being over. And yet I cannot stand here with you on the bridge of my ship and tell you that I can give you an exact date. But I can tell you this: the more that you support these unfoldings, the more you will eliminate some of the time that would otherwise pass in 3D. Because, what is this about anyway? This is about Nizara being announced on your 3D television sets and over your 3D internet and so on, and so on. This is about a sacred and divine law coming into the reality of where everyone is. Not everyone, of course, is still in 3D. There are those who are living quite successfully in higher dimensionality almost all of the time. But yet 3D events and situations still draw attention. And then think about on the other end of the spectrum. There are those who are living only in 3D. They don't even know, they haven't got a clue, as you might say, that they are divine beings destined to move upward, dimensionally speaking. And so you have this grand mix. And so what has to happen is that what you might call in mathematical terms a lowest common denominator has to be the focal point. In other words, the Nizara announcement, and yes, the announcement that I'm for real, have to come in such a way, or be presented in such a way, that those who haven't got any information on this at all in their 3D consciousness, can hear it, can accept it, can believe it. And that means that everything has to be secure, among other things. The energies of the old program have to be deleted, and they are being, or we will say, cancelled or nullified by these new incoming energies. That is another major shift that is taking place. The people need to know that it's safe. They can open their hearts. They can dance in the streets. They can lay down their weapons. They can live free, breathe free. They can take up whatever projects and causes and helping humanitarian kinds of things that they have a desire to do. Or they can go out and buy a little red sports car, and they can do both. Saint Germain will be talking more about the coming abundance. I have no desire to get into that in any depth. I am simply wanting to let you know that things will not be the same in any aspect of your lifestyles, once these announcements are made. And we understand that it is very difficult to be in a human body which perhaps needs some nurturing, some care of some kind, some remedies, some healings, physically and indeed throughout the entirety of one's bodies, when there is no means to provide for that. We understand that there are many in this world who are without decent shelter, comfortable shelter. We understand that there are many who are without food, many children without parents, many parents who have lost their children and are grieving. All of these are the end of 3D situations which have been going on for eons of time. It's one great, big program that has been run for approximately 13,000 of your years, and it is coming to an end. There isn't any aspect of your lifestyles, as I have just said, that will not be changing, because it has been like the dominoes falling, exactly like dominoes falling to get to this place. There are only a few more left standing before these announcements can get made. And then you will walk through the door into the golden age, a happy, joyful cause for celebration. Take some time out and celebrate, and then look at your lifestyle and understand that coming into the golden age means there's a whole new set of dominoes. What about all the poisons that have been sprayed into your atmosphere, sprayed onto your lands and into your waters? What about what you call sustainable living for every man, woman, child, and for all the members of all of the kingdoms of Mother Gaia? What about everyone having enough? What about everyone having so much that if they want leisure time they can have it, they don't have to work anymore? Well, I'm getting a bit into Saint Germain's territory *, so I shall stop there, but just know that to implement changes in your lifestyles, it is going to need implementation of changes everywhere. Governments, laws, rules, guidelines all need to change. Attitudes all need to change. What happens when you breathe the air of freedom? There are those who are going to find it more difficult to let go of the old attitudes of, well, this is great, but my neighbor could try to take this away from me, so I will take it away from my neighbor first. That's a very common one, is it not? Now I'm not talking about the people in this group. I'm asking you to take a look at humanity and understand that it isn't going to be easy for humanity to change these kinds of attitudes and programs. What about peace on earth? The eternal peace that the beloved ones have just spoken of. How is that going to happen if it does not come into each and every heart? Now you can be rest assured that the energies that are coming in now that are empowering the fall of the dominoes will continue. And these energies are very high. Yes, they are intense, and, yes, there are still those among you who, shall we say, could benefit yourselves by taking it a bit slower. But on the whole, when you know what is happening, and when you know about what's going on, and the changes that are happening within yourselves and throughout the world, it is a bit easier to understand why it is that you need to give yourselves a break, and be focusing upon how you can self-nurture a bit more, in some cases. So what I'm telling you, beloved ones, is this is an opportunity to prepare, to support with your loving energies in any way that you so choose. It could be signing some petitions that are helping to bring about the changes by making the responsible ones aware that you know that these changes need to be made. And in some cases it is that they need to stop the pollutions, and the poisonings and so on, that they have been engaging in all this time. It is to say, I see you and I know what you have been doing. Now, I love you, but I don't love your activities. I bear you no ill will, I wish you no harm. I only encourage you to stop doing the harm that you are doing. Well, that's a new kind of a way, isn't it? Now, it's true that those ones who will not listen, who will not cooperate, who will not change their ways, they have to be taken someplace, first of all, where they will have to stand and hear what the world knows they have done. And a lot of people in the world are going to hear about it for the first time when those deeds are made public. And then, they have to be taken somewhere where they can make changes if they choose so to do, but where they cannot above all else cannot interfere in any way with the forward progress that you and the higher dimensional consciousness of planet Earth have ordained. And when we talk about security, that's what we're talking about. And all I shall say on this matter is that the dominoes are falling quite rapidly in this particular subject. So, take a break. Stand tall when you feel the energy so to do, and then sit down or lie down or put your feet up when you need a break. The end is so close, the end of all that has troubled you, the end of all that has challenged you, and it is to continue along your path, making the most of every moment, no matter what it is that you choose to be doing. There will be opportunities aplenty for you to engage in new projects and new activities when the golden age begins. For now, just join with us, partnering together and moving ahead on the path. And if you are a bit weary, call upon us to give you a boost. We're very good at that. We have energy for you that is absolutely unlimited, infinite, and eternal, and that's called love. So know that we are right here with you. We stand together, and when you need a help, a bit of a rest, we support you in that as well. Your hearts are beautiful, beloved family. And we are honored and full of joy that you have come to be with us and invited us to be with you. Together we are bringing forth the announcements that you have been waiting for, and the golden age that lies just ahead. And, of course, we support you in every way as you proceed along your own paths of ascension, for that is the joyful homecoming to the higher dimensions which we already see, from our perspective, upon your timelines. So rejoice with us and take a moment to just breathe in the love as we celebrate our oneness, our togetherness, and our missions accomplished. And so it is. Salat.